Hey, beautiful people. My name is Ariel Campbell, and I'm a second grade teacher here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is my channel, Teach Miss Campbell, where I teach you many different things that I have learned over the years as a mentor teacher, a kindergarten teacher, a special education teacher, and now a second grade teacher. So in today's video, I will teach you and I will physically stand up and show you how to implement 7 teacher power skills in the classroom that will help you become a better teacher. If you're a new teacher, or if you've been teaching a year or 2 or 3, or even more, this will definitely help you. So they are teacher presence, they are teacher voice, they are teacher procedures, teacher directions, teacher redirections, teacher consequences, and teacher rewards. They all flow together and they are connected. So let's get to it. Number 1 is teacher presence and proximity. Teacher presence is basically the ability to be confident in front of the classroom. And teacher proximity is the ability to use your presence, your confidence to walk around the classroom and be near your students to help them focus and stay on task without you saying a thing. So think of Michael Jackson, y'all. Think of Michael Jackson at the Super Bowl. God rest his soul. He had great performer presence, y'all, that he just stood there for about 2 minutes and everyone respectfully screaming his name. But this won't be your students screaming your name, but instead, your students will be looking at you and listening to you in awe because of how amazing your teacher presence is. Just like Beyonce, how she has to take her inner Sasha Fierce to go on stage, you have to get your inner Sasha Fierce, because when Beyonce goes on stage, she is no longer Beyonce. She is Sasha Fierce. So I am no longer Ariel Campbell, the little girl from Jamaica. No, no, no. I am now Miss Campbell, a teacher of 30 second grade students. So to develop your teacher presence, you have to stand up, right? I'm gonna see if I can back up a little bit. Stand up. I'm gonna model this right after I tell you everything first, so take notes. You stand up, square up with confidence, right? You see how Michael Jackson is standing confidently? What? Check him out, y'all. That's presence right there. So you have to embody your inner Sasha Fierce, your inner Michael Jacksons. Get that teacher presence. Stand up, square up, look around the classroom. Michael Jackson was looking at Michael Jackson was looking at the people, y'all. So I want you to stand up, square up with confidence, look around the classroom. You can stay where you are and look around the classroom using your teacher radar. Or you can walk around the classroom. It's always great to walk around the classroom, standing at an angle. You can stand at an angle at the room to see all of the students. It's always best to be at a corner of a room, not the center, because if you're in the center, your back is facing some of the students and you won't be able to see all of them. But if you're at an angle, you can see all of your students and you won't have your back to them. So your back is still going to be squared up. You're going to write. You're not going to physically write. Your back should never be to the students because you want them to be fully engaged with you. You want them to see that you are actually tracking and looking and watching what they're doing and knowing that you are there to make sure that they are focused, because if you turn away, you can miss something and a student can get hurt, right? So it's always important to always have your teacher radar on. You're looking, you're giving off that positive energy. And so having that teacher confidence means also to have that teacher look, where you just pause, you wait, and you stay silent, looking around until all the students are waiting quietly and respecting you quietly, right? Waiting for the next direction or waiting to transition to the next activity. So you wait and you don't move on until there's a zero voice so everyone can hear you, because you're not trying to be a strict authoritarian. You're just trying to have respect so everyone can hear you. If all the students are talking at the same time, that's not going to be good. They won't hear you. Your lesson will not be run. Your lesson will not run smoothly. You'll have to keep going over and over and over, and that will have a lot of bad behavioral problems in your classroom, right? So I'll show you how your teacher presence and proximity can look in the classroom. So I'll go ahead and show you. 1, 2, tracking Miss Campbell. At a level 0, we are sitting in star tracking Miss Campbell. Okay, so I hope you felt that energy. through this video, but basically I was squared up, I was standing up, I was showing the position of what I want the students to be in, as well as giving them the level 0. I first explained the directions, but then at the end, if you notice, I was quiet. I was just quietly standing up within this is a star position that I tell my students, and I was just looking, but I wasn't saying anything. And so that is my teacher presence, and my proximity would be me moving around, right? On my tippy toes. I'm on my tippy toes. I know you can't see, this is a bad area, but I'm on my tippy toes, y'all. And I'm looking, I'm scanning, or I can stay still. Okay? All right, awesome. So if you'd heard, I said my teacher voice. So that goes into number 2, my next super teacher power skill that you need to have. So it's your teacher voice, right? It's your ability to speak in a clear and defined tone with a loud and confident voice. Your students across the room should be able to hear you, and you should not be too fast or too low audible. You shouldn't be too loud. So your tone of voice shouldn't be too loud. It shouldn't be too low. It should not be too fast. It should be just right, which is very important when you are explaining procedures and directions, which brings me to our number 3, our teacher procedures, which is you as a teacher teaching classroom procedures for everything. Every little thing you can think of, the first 2 weeks of school, you have to teach. You are teaching actionable steps that students need to know how to independently do without your help, because there will be times when you are helping a student or you're teaching a lesson and students need to understand what to do if they cannot get your attention right away. They have to know to wait. They have to know to wait and do the classroom procedures. This is going to help your classrooms stop. This will help your classrooms run smoothly. For example, you need to teach your students the procedures for entering the classroom. What should they do? Put up their backpacks, right? Either on the hook or on the back of their chairs. Start their morning work. They need to know that without having to raise their hand and ask you, because you may be doing something like filling out the attendance sheet or the breakfast chart, or you might be helping a student putting Band-Aids on. They need to know what to do independently so the classroom can run smoothly and there is no big interruptions again, right? So you're teaching procedures like entering the classroom for morning meeting, teaching how to do the morning work. What should you do when you're done with the morning work? What are early finisher tasks that you can have in the classroom for students to complete? What are the procedures for putting their backpacks away, right? Do they put it on the back of their chair or put it on the hook? What are the procedures for turning in homework or classwork or notes from home? You may have a parent-signed homework log where their parents need to sign it. So that at home, they need to show their parents the homework for them to sign. In class, are you having students put it in a bucket, or are you having them pass it down? Or are you having them just raise it up in the air? What is your procedures for turning in classwork or notes from home? What are the procedures for working independently? Are they at a level 0, which is no voice, level 1, which is a whisper? Are they working independently? Can they ask a friend for help? Or are they just working independently by themselves for exit ticket because it is a quiz and they only need to use their brains? They cannot ask their friend for help because this is not partner work, right? So if this is a partner work, then you'll teach them when you're in partners, what is the procedures for when you're in partners? What is the procedures for small groups, right? What are the procedures when you're on the Chromebook? Where do you go? What sites? YouTube? Do you go to YouTube? Do you not go to YouTube? What is the website that you should be on right now in the classroom, right? And how should you be sitting? You can maybe standing up if you're focused, or you can be sitting down. What choices do you have as a teacher when they are using their Chromebooks? I like to give my students the choice to either stand up or sit down as long as they are in their area, right? So these are procedures you can tell them. What are procedures for class rules and hallway rules, right? I love to give no more than 5 because they have 5 fingers, y'all. 1 rule, 2 rule, 3 rule, 4 rule, 5 rule, that's it. It's too much rules to be it's too many rules to remember. That's a lot of brain power, and that's just a lot. If you want to keep it simple, and that's just a lot. Keep it simple, keep it sweet. 5 is enough. Give those class rules in the classroom, and then the hallway rules. How should they walk in the hallway? How should they what type of voice level. Are they loud? Are they not loud? What are they allowed? Level 0, level 1, right? What are the procedures and consequences and rewards? So consequences can look like this: friendly reminders, whole class reminders. You also have to tell them the procedures for voice levels in class and hallways, right? So my voice levels, the voice levels are 0, no voice, which are silent, catch a big bubble, voice is off. Voice level 1 is a whisper. You can talk to your partner, only one person can hear you. Voice level 2 is your natural voice, right? A few people can hear you in small group. Voice level 3 is your speaker voice. It's loud, it's proud. The whole class can hear you because you are presenting at the front of the classroom. Number 4 is shouting voice. You're outside playing, having lots of fun, so you're using your outside shouting voice. Number 5 is your emergency voice. It's a high-pitched screaming in case of an emergency. So teach these procedures. Another procedure you need to teach is using restrooms as a class. Using restroom as a class. What is the procedure for that? Also teach procedures for hand signals. What is hand signal 1? That's pencil. 2, bathroom. 3, water, W. Water begins with the letter W, water. 4, tissue, wipe your nose, tissue. And 5, ask a question. Those are hand signals that you can teach. Attention getters and choral responses, calling back and forth, are teacher procedures you can teach as well. For example, an attention getter I use a lot is 1, 2. I, the teacher, say 1, 2, and the students go, they clap twice. So I say 1, 2, students clap 2 times. Or I'll say, there's another attention getter like in a choral response where I, the teacher, say class, class, and the students say yes, yes. Or I'll say eyes up, and the students say eyes up. Or I'll say tracking Miss Campbell, and they will repeat tracking Miss Campbell, right? Or tracking the board, and they'll repeat tracking the board. So they're tracking and knowing where to go. So those are procedures you can teach in the class. You can also teach a procedure when the students have a problem and they need help. What do? If they're in a groups, they ask their friends. If they are in a whole group, they raise their hand. If they see Miss Campbell's talking to someone, they wait quietly, write down on a note my question, and wait until Miss Campbell is done. Then they can raise their hand and ask a question. So these are procedures that you can teach your students. You can also teach your students about early finisher activities. At the beginning, I said morning work. When the students are finished their morning work or finished their classwork, what early finisher activities can they do? Well, they can do this. Have a list of things that they can do with a bucket of things that they can do with worksheets, math worksheets, writing, reading. Have them choose what they can do. Also teach breakfast and lunch procedures. Teach emergency procedures that your school has taught you through some professional development. Teach cleaning up and packing up. Cleaning up can be cleaning up after breakfast, after lunch, and at the end of the day when they're packing up. Teacher dismissal procedures. Teach them about their homework folder and how they need to bring it back to school every day with a parent-signed homework log if that's what your school does. Teach them how to line up and walk in the hallway, right? Teach them turn and talk procedures. Turn and talk is when they're talking, they're turning their bodies and they're talking in a pair or in a group with their friends, with their classmates about a topic. Teach them how do they do a turn and talk, right? So I'm going to actually show you the 2 procedures that my school implements, which is hall and star procedures. And hall is basically standing, hands at your side. H, hands by your side. A, actively attention, listening. L, lips pursed, and low speed. So low speed, like you're not walking too fast. I mean, you don't have to be robotic. Like for my kiddos, they're not all, oh my God, we're in like a military. No, they're just, walking, but making sure that they're not just running and going crazy and gonna hit someone, We want them to be nice and at peace so they don't hurt each other or hurt themselves, right? We don't want them to run and fall on the floor. So I'm just gonna sit down and just give you and show you a model of how this would look. Let's begin. Good morning, my beautiful scholars. Today we will learn the hall procedure for going to the bathroom. And I want you all to do your very, very best. And I know you can do it. The position is called hall, and it looks like this. I'll model first, okay, boys and girls? My turn first. So you all are going to sit and watch me do it. So my hands are by my side. I am standing up. My feet are on the ground, and my lips are closed, and I am ready to go. And this is hall. What is this called, everyone? Alrighty, so when I say 1, you will push your chair back and stand up quietly at a level 0. Ready? Show me that you understand what to do with a thumbs up. Susie, what are we going to do when I say 1? Roger, what are we going to do when I say 1? Alrighty, everyone seems to understand. Having our thumbs up. Very good. Ready, set, 1. So that was just a procedure of Hall. Now, many teachers can do it different ways, but I was just trying to show you that that is teaching a procedure. I model it first as a teacher, then I check for understanding, and then I have the students demonstrate what the procedure is, right? There's also a procedure called STAR, which is sit up, track the speaker, actively and respectfully listen to your friends. And these are very, very important procedures to teach at the beginning of the year because you want your students to really actively listen to you, but also actively listen to their peers, their classmates. So if they do STAR, their hands are just on the table. I mean, some of the students can do like this, as long as it's down on the table and they're looking and they're not playing with paper or pencils, but they're actively listening and being respectful. That is the goal, to be listening and to be respectful so that they can do their best, right? And so when you're teaching these procedures, this goes into my 4th superpower, which is teacher directions.